Hello and welcome. I am Roy at Ninjazilla90, and today I will be reviewing the Mattel Masters of the Universe Revolution Masterverse Skeletor, or Skeletech as he calls himself in the show. And this is a really cool one, and I got some things to say about him. So with that said, let's get started. And now, starting things off the box, because you know we have to talk about really cool boxes on this channel when we have them, because unfortunately, I don't keep a lot of my figure packages because I just simply don't have room for them. Yeah, I know it's unfortunate that I have to throw them out, but anyway, as you can see, front and center, we have a really cool picture of the Masters of the Universe Revolution Skeletor, or aka Skeletech, as he likes to refer to himself in the show. And as you can see, he has the Havoc staff fused to his arm, and he's become sort of like this cyborg version of himself. And we have it also says Masters of the Universe Revolution right there, which is the title of the show that this figure is from. And we have Skeletor right there, which is the name of the figure. Top of the box, we have the Masterverse logo, which is the figure line that this figure is from. And of course, we have over 30 points of articulation right there. We have showing you that this is part of, he is from a Netflix original series. And we have 6 points of, ages 6+, my bad. And we have the Mattel logo right there. I was about to say 6 points of articulation. This figure has way more than 6 points of articulation. But anyway, turn it to the side. We have a close-up picture of Skeletech right there. Or Skeletor, my bad. Well, it's kind of the same character anyway. And we have another picture of Skeletor right there with, the Revolution Skeletor right there with all of his cybernetics with the Havoc staff fused to his arm right there. Looking very creepy. And of course, the side of the box, it just kind of wraps around to, some more art right there. And of course, the back of the box, we have a really cool promotional picture of the figure right there with his Havoc staff, or, well, I guess you could call it a Havoc arm, I guess, with the ram skull at the end of his arm right there, which it also like blast fire and various projectiles in the show. So I think that's a pretty cool take on Skeletor. Well, cool and unique also. And of course, we have showing you that the jaw can open and close on the ram skull on, his Havoc staff form, I guess. And of course, he is also wearing the King's crown, which he is technically He-Man's uncle because he was Keldor before he was Skeletor, but he technically fools everybody in the show and just to become the King of Eternia. But yeah, eventually, he gets figured out and thrown down. But anyway, here we have the character bio right there, so you can pause it and read it if you choose to. So I'll leave it there for a hot little minute. And now, moving right along, we have also available, we have Sorceress Teela, which I do not have yet. We have Man-at-Arms, which I don't have yet either. I do have a Teela, but like I said, it's the shorter hair Teela. I don't have a single Masterverse Man-at-Arms yet. Neither do I have a single Masterverse Trapjaw yet. But yeah, I have plenty Skeletors, and this is one of them. So yeah, that's the same figure you're getting in the package. And we have Mattel empowering the next generation through play. And the bottom of the box, nothing too interesting. But anyway, that pretty much concludes it for the box. Now on to the figure. And now, here we have the Mattel Masters of the Universe Revolution Masterverse Skeletor, or aka Skeletech, right here before us in all of his evil, Dark Lord of Destruction, cyborg, cybernetic glory. As you can see, this is a well-sculpted, well-detailed figure made by the super cool, awesome people at Mattel, of course. And first things first, as you can see, it is obvious this isn't your normal, regular, typical version of Skeletor at all, by any means necessary, because this basically is sort of like a cybernetic version of him, or Skeletor in a at least half cybernetic form, given to him by Motherboard. If you watch both the Revelation and Revolution Masters of the Universe series on Netflix, some fans say it wasn't well received with them, but me, I really enjoyed this series. Maybe because, I don't know, I'm just, I'm not an 80s kid, I'm a 90s kid, so maybe it just resonated different with me, I don't know. But anyway, as you can see, the Havoc staff, and I already said this when I was reviewing the box, is now fused to his left arm, and it is really cool. We kind of have like this huge arm guard right here with like these sort of like flat spiky like plates coming out of it, looking really nice. And we have some like cybernetic like computer board looking details in the ram skull as well, looking really cool. And we could see the horns on the ram skull is darker, much darker metallic purple than the actual skull piece, and it looks like it has like some wiring going into it. And also, I do notice like the horns on the ram skull kind of look like 3D polygons, like you would see kind of like in a 3D style video game, like you would see something like on the N64 or like original PlayStation, sort of. So we do have that. That looks really cool. Kind of like it's like a 3D graphic coming out of there, which is really cool. And of course, we do have articulation on that ram skull as well. So it's really cool, and it's sculpted really nicely as well. We even have the nostril for the nose right there, sculpted really good. Would have been better if that was painted black. I don't know. I might get a Sharpie and paint that part black. I'm not sure if I should, but it's there. And of course, if we look at the arm of the ram staff, the Havoc staff, or whatever you want to call this, his Havoc arm, I guess. You can see it looks kind of like a bunch of big wires braided together, and we can see sort of like these computer board looking like veins in it, looking really nice. We have like these like bright neon green looking computer board veins in there, looking really cool. And we kind of sort of, we take a closer look, he has like sort of like this huge, like, I don't want to say like light, but it's kind of like this like green orb in the middle of his abdomen there. And of course we can see like some more like cybernetic details on the Skeletor as well as having this huge like massive like cybernetic shoulder guard right here with like matching like armored like spike plates to what you have on that arm guard right there, which is really cool. And of course we can see like he kind of like has like the cybernetic like neck armor piece right there as well. His whole like skull face is cybernetic. If you look at it, he even has some like cybernetic looking eyes in there. And of course he's wearing like this like big like rubbery skirt piece right here. And he also has like the cyborg legs. Kind of I don't know if it's like Star Wars Rebels or one of those animated like Star Wars shows where, you know, Darth Maul came back and he had like cyborg legs. That kind of reminds me of like the cybernetic legs Darth Maul had on that show, as well as kind of giving me some like Cyber Frieza vibes. Remember the Dragon Ball Z, like the beginning of the Trunks saga, you know, where Frieza was coming into Earth to try to get his revenge, and he was like rebuilt and stuff. That kind of gives me some of those vibes as well. So kind of I'm seeing kind of like some like half cyborg Darth Maul like Cyber Frieza vibes going on with the Skeletor. So to me, that's kind of cool. That just makes him all the more menacing as a villain to me, if you ask me. And of course, we have the crown of Grayskull, which should not be around his head, but it is. He does come with that as an accessory. I just pretty much leave him with that. But anyway, far as articulation with this figure, the head can look up, we can look down, we can look right. Well, I'll just take that off. We can look left, and of course we can cranium revolve us a full 360 and the opposite way. We have a really good swivel hinges in the shoulders, so we can bring the shoulders up into sort of a half T-pose, I guess, because this arm is very hindered by the shoulder guard right here, so you can't really bring this arm out too much. So you can only bring like the his left arm out. This is his right arm, so yeah, only his left arm could come out all the way. So his right, or well, anyway, however you want to look at it. His left, our right, his right, our left. So I guess if you put it that way. But anyway, like I said, this arm is kind of like shoulder. It's hindered by this shoulder armor piece right here. But we can swivel both arms all the way around like so, and the opposite way. Same is true with the other arm, as you can see. And of course, we have a swivel in at least, you know, his left arm. We have a double joint in the elbow, swivel at the wrist, and we can rock that wrist forward and back. Now, this arm, like I said, articulation is not exactly symmetrical with this arm, because obviously, yeah, it's way different. But like I said, we can swivel. We do have that, you know, hinge in the shoulder, but you know, we don't have that bicep swivel or that elbow hinge. But this is on a bendy wire, so we can bend it in different ways. But yeah, I would be careful of that, because yeah, just take a look. Mine kind of already has like some stressing right there, where it looks like, I don't know if it was like that out of the box or what. I don't know if that's the material like degrading on mine or whatever, but I hope it's not. But yeah, this arm is kind of a bendy wire, but you still have to be careful with it and not overstress it. So just keep that in mind. And of course, the legs. The legs pretty much have the same articulation you would see on pretty much every Masterverse figure. I mean, we do have his hips are on ball joints, but you know, very hindered by his skirt piece, so you can't really move the legs too much because of this. You know, would be better if this was kind of like removable, but it's not. So we can only spread his legs out about that much. We can bring them forward about this much, and then back. Same is true with the other leg, and then back down. And I think he does. Yes, it does have drop down hips, so we do have that. So that's a definite plus. We do have we also have a thigh swivel, so we can swivel those thighs all the way around, full 360. And also, like, unlike other Masterverse figures, this one has a knee swivel, so we can swivel those cybernetic knees of his all the way around, a full 360. And we have a single joint at the knee instead of a double joint with this one, so we can bend the back. We also have a swivel in the shin, so we could swivel the shins all the way around. And of course, we could point his toes all the way forward with his ankles being on a hinge, and all the way back again. And we can also bend his knees forward if we want to, but I don't see why anybody would want to do that. And we can also swivel, we can swivel his feet as well if we choose to on a peg joint. So yeah, that's about it for leg articulation. And one more thing before I forget, this one actually does have the updated ball joint in the torso, so not only can we rock forward and back or lean side to side, but we can also rotate all the way around, a full 360 like so. And of course, we do have waist articulation as well, so that's a definite plus with this figure. As far as accessories, he doesn't come with very much accessories, except for like the crown of Eternia, and the this closed fist hand that he comes based out of the box with, that I swapped out for this gripping hand, because this I will most likely hardly ever use. But anyway, that pretty much concludes it for the this figure review. If I have to give this figure a final score based on detail, articulation, and playability, I have to give him a drum roll, please. And if I have to give this figure a final score based on those three categories, I have to give this figure a well-deserved, not quite perfect, but still highly recommended, very credible 9 out of 10. Why? First things first, where I'm taking points off at is, I honestly feel like leg articulation could be a little bit better if this piece was removable. So I think that's something Mattel should have thought about ahead of time. Because for me, like, loosening up the joints and everything out of the box, is a lot of Masterverse figures have tight joints out of the box. Yeah, I've kind of broke the glue seal a little bit right there on mine. So, but it's still holding together, so that's no big deal to me. It holds together quite fine, even though that glue seal is broken. And of course, this piece right, I don't know if that's, like I said, degrading and getting brittle, but that is kind of a concern. But as long as it, holds together and it doesn't break on me, it's all good. But anyway, that's the only areas where I'm taking points off on this figure. But other than that, I still think this is highly recommended. Really good Masterverse figure. And a really cool version of Skeletor to have in your collection. But anyway, guys, that pretty much concludes it for this review. As always, thank you guys all so much for watching. Your viewership is much appreciated. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And to wrap it all up, Stay safe, take care, stay positive, stay powered up, and peace out.